I spent 2 months in America this summer, and now I'm going to make a photo book about it. I've been to America 10 or so times in my life, mainly as a young kid. I hadn't been back in 7 years before this trip, and it was my first time there as an adult. And it was a strange feeling visiting somewhere so heavily charged with nostalgia and expectations, especially with family. I'm not going to dive into this absolute masterpiece by Alex Prager, but if you're not familiar already, just stop this video and go do that instead. The reason I've pulled this from the collection is because there is a line in here that I can't stop thinking about by Michael Mansfield describing Prager's films. If Prager's early motion pictures were temporal expansions of our photography, psh, get at it, that's just fucking so good. For me personally, my photography has always served as a vehicle for better expressing myself and my experiences. It's helped me process and understand life. And while I've been sorting through this absolute mountain of footage, I've been wondering how I can use video to help that mission as well, and hopefully give more weight to my photos. So this is all a very dramatic way of saying that I don't want to make another lo-fi, maximum vibes montage of my holiday. Instead, I've made something a little more accurate to my experience, a bit strange, and still a montage, but with the intention of it conveying how life felt during those
so nice.
It's the what? Let's switch gears for a second and talk about one last thing I did in New York. Then we'll talk about the book. Hello. So if you're kinky for photography and spend any time on YouTube, which is no doubt you will have seen the Walkie Talkie photography series by Polly B. So a couple of weeks before we arrived in New York, I sent him an email asking him if he would be down to film something while I was out in the city. And to my genuine amazement, he replied, "Yo Kev, I'm interested. Let me know what days you'll be in town and we'll see what we can cook up." So for about a week, I walked around the city with Polly, making a film for his channel, which if you haven't seen it already, I'll link it in the description.
Sorry, we're blowing up the shot. No, it's fine. It's Kev. Where's Kev? What's up, man?
How's it going?
But I had a great time with this project, like a really fucking good time making this. It was such an awesome opportunity getting to hang with someone whose work I'd been following for years, all the while getting to meet and hang with these other photographers whose work I'd also been admiring for so long. It was just a solid week of complete immersion into the culture of photography in New York, and I loved every single second of it.
Got me. You got me. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada.
I felt so welcomed by everyone we ran into, and I left feeling super motivated and inspired. I could go on about this experience at length for a long time, but if you want a feel for what it was like out there, I strongly suggest you go and watch the video Polly and I made on his channel.
You're like totally silhouette.
Okay, now we'll talk about the book. I've begun the initial stages of making it, and I'm going to provide a complete insight to that process with videos on this channel. I've already shot part 1, which is all about pairing and sequencing. It's one of my big aspirations in my career right now to try and make more physical work. And this experience, those 2 months in America, were so profoundly character developing for me that it being the main subject of my first ever public photo book just felt like a very obvious choice. I want to share with people a sense of what I felt, what I seen, what life was like. I don't want to get too heady and metaphorical about any of it, to be honest, but from what I've made of the photos so far, I really am like absolutely in love with the work, or at least the journey of trying to make sense of it all, trying to build a narrative with the work. So please, do me a favour, subscribe, stay in the loop about this project. I will be uploading the first part of the process, that first video, in a couple of days. Probably next weekish. It's completely shot, just needs to be edited, so it's good to go. Thank you so much for giving me your time today. I really do appreciate it. You're special, and your dad was wrong about you. Bye. Okay, I think this looks pretty good. This is my 2 starting pages, and then I'm gonna go this way. This is really hard.